Overflows.
The fourth body and the fourth chakra. There are 7 bodies from physical body to nirvanic body. Physical body, etheric body, astral body, mental body, the spiritual body, cosmic body, nirvanic body. So too there are 7 chakras from root to crown chakra. Each body has its corresponding chakra that nourish the body. The fourth plane or the fourth body is the mental body or the psyche, and the fourth chakra is anahat or the heart chakra. Both fourth body and fourth chakra are deeply connected to one another. It is very simple. The chakras are energy centers that connect the body. Energy flows through them. The chakras are energy centers that connect body, mind, and spirit through energy flow. Energy flows through various chakras, nourishing and nurturing each body. As energy flows, it helps the corresponding body and thus continues the process of transformation. When the chakra functions harmoniously, when all the different chakras are functioning harmoniously, energy can flow freely. This applies even to a single chakra and the body that it is connected to. When the energy flows properly through the heart center, it nourishes the mental body, bringing positive effects to both body and mind. This is why it is very important that the chakras remain well functioning. On a physical level, the chakra corresponds to the nerve plexus and are responsible for the functioning of the organ, of all our organs. On a subtle level, they correspond to the functioning, to the fundamental qualities for the harmonious development of the being. These represents the different evolutionary stages of human being, and their order is not random. They start from the most material to the most subtle to indicate a path that begins in matter and gradually arrives at the most expanded level of knowing and awareness, that is the spiritual path. Each chakra has its own unique characteristic and is influenced by the lower one, just as in turn this influences the higher one. For instance, it is the root chakra that influences the water center or Swadhisthana chakra. So when the energy reaches the Swadhisthana chakra, it is the energy that flows and nourishes the Manipur or the solar plexus. Each chakra has its own unique characteristics that is influenced by the lower one, and just as it influences, it is being influenced by the lower chakra, it influences the next higher one. We explored the main characteristics of each chakra, the qualities in light and those in shadow, to begin to get an overall view of ourselves. All chakras except the seventh have qualities and dysfunctions. In the world of energy, everything is in motion, constant flux. Everything is born in harmony, but encounters, experiences, conditionings, and beliefs create distortions and disharmony. We gradually lose the original state of stillness of our being. It is separation that creates the deepest pain of the being. Essentially, when we separate from our natural essence and uniqueness. We start from the first chakra, the foundation, the roots, necessary to anchor ourselves and sink our feet into the ground. From there, we take flight on a journey towards the divine, which shows our beauty and uniqueness. We go beyond duality to integrate opposites. There is light and there is shadow, and both are necessary to recognize each other. Just as day and night both are necessary to recognize each other. Identify and recognizing the different aspects in order to integrate ourselves, going beyond duality, is transformation. First, you have to identify the opposites. You have to recognize the presence of the opposites, integrate themselves, and then you go beyond the duality. This is the transformation. Just as a simple process, you are mixing sugar in the water. First, the two integrate into one another, then they become one fluid, and that is where the water is transformed into a syrup and sugar is transformed. The natural quality of the fourth plane or the body are imagination and dreaming. The mind is always doing two things, imagining and dreaming. It dreams in the night and during the day it daydreams. If imagination is fully developed to its optimum, it is in a complete way, it becomes determination and will. It is the imagination. When it attains to the optimum totality, it becomes determination and will. If dreaming develops fully, it is transformed into the vision, the psychic vision. If a man's ability to dream is fully developed, he has to close his eyes and he can see the things which open eyes cannot see. He can see even through the wall. At first, he only dreams of seeing beyond the wall, and later he actually sees beyond it. Now he can only guess what you are thinking, but after the transformation, he sees what you think. Visions means seeing and hearing things without the use of the usual sense organs. The limitations of time and space are no more for a person who develops vision. In dreams, you travel far. If you are in Boston, you reach Berlin in dreams. In vision, also you travel distances, but there is a vast difference. In dreams, you imagine that you have gone, whereas in vision, you actually go. The fourth psychic body can actually be present there. As we have no idea of the ultimate possibility of this fourth body, we have discarded the ancient concept of dreaming in today's world. The ancient experience was that in dream, one of the bodies of man comes out of him and goes on a journey. This is known as astral traveling. There was a man, Swedish born Emanuel Swedenborg. He was a Swedish polymath, scientist, engineer, astronomer, Christian theologian, philosopher, and mystic. He became best known for his book on afterlife, heaven, and hell in 1758. Swedenborg had a prolific career as an inventor and scientist. In 1741, at the age of 53, he entered into the spiritual phase of his life, in which he began to experience dreams and visions, notably on Easter. People knew Swedenborg as a dreamer. He used to talk of heaven and hell, and that can only exist in dreams. But one afternoon, as he slept, he began to shout, "Help, help, my house is on fire." People came running, but there was no fire there. They woke him up to assure that there was no fire. It was only a dream and there was no danger of fire at all. He insisted, however, that his house was on fire. His house was 300 miles away and it had caught fire at the time when he shouted for help. On the second or third day, the news came of this disaster. His house was burned to ashes, and it was actually burning when he cried out for help and when he cried out in sleep. Now, this is no longer a dream, but it was a vision, and this has transformed his life. The distance of 300 miles was no longer there. This man witnessed what was happening 300 miles away. Now, scientists also agree that there are great psychic possibilities of the fourth body now that man has set out now that man has set out in the space. Researches in this direction has become all the more important. The fact remains that no matter how reliable the instruments at a man's disposal are, these cannot be relied upon completely. If the radio communication in a spaceship ceases to function, the astronauts lose contact with the world for all types. They will not be able to tell us where they are and what has happened to them. So today scientists are keen to develop telepathy and vision of the psychic body. Telepathy is the vision, is the way the psychic body works. So today the scientists are keen to develop telepathy and the vision of the psychic body to overcome this risk. If the astronaut were able to communicate directly with the power of telepathy, it would be a part of the development of the fourth body. Fourth body is important and its growth is important in the process of transformation. Then space travel can be safer. A lot of work can be carried out in that direction. But the development of the fourth body, its growth and transformation is an important aspect of the transformation of human consciousness from the gross to the psychic stage and beyond to the spiritual, cosmic, and nirvanic. Enough for now.